Have you ever wondered how websites work? Every time you visit your favorite online store, check your email, or scroll through social media, you're interacting with something much more complex than just a simple web page. How do they store information and interact with you? How do they remember your preferences, keep your data safe, and deliver personalized content right to your screen? The answer lies in web applications and the magic of programming languages like PHP. These tools work behind the scenes to make websites dynamic, responsive, and interactive. A web application is like a smart program that runs on a web server. Unlike static websites, which only display fixed content, web applications can respond to your actions and process information in real time. It can do a lot of cool things. For example, it can take information from you, process it, store it in a database, and then show you the results. This is how online shopping carts, user logins, and search features work. When you fill out a form or click a button, your input travels to the server, gets processed, and the server sends back a response tailored just for you. Think of a social media site where you can post messages and see your friends' updates. That's a web application in action. It's constantly updating and interacting with users all over the world. PHP is a powerful language specifically designed for building web applications. It's one of the most popular tools for creating websites that do more than just display information. It's like the engine that makes web pages dynamic and interactive. With PHP, you can build features like user accounts, comment sections, and even entire online communities. When you send a request to a website built with PHP, the server understands the PHP code, processes your request, and sends back the results you see in your web browser. This process happens in just a fraction of a second. PHP is easy to learn and use, even for beginners. Its simple syntax and wide community support make it a great starting point for anyone interested in web development. It works seamlessly with HTML, the language that structures web pages. By combining PHP and HTML, you can create websites that are both beautiful and functional. In the next sections, we'll explore how you can use PHP to build your very own web application. Whether you want to create a personal blog, an online store, or a community platform, PHP gives you the tools to bring your ideas to life. Let's begin. Before we dive into coding, let's take a moment to plan our web application. Good planning is the foundation of any successful project, and it helps us avoid confusion and wasted effort later on. It's like having a roadmap before starting a journey. With a clear plan, we know where we're headed and what steps we need to take to get there. We need to decide what we want to build and how it will function. This means thinking about the features, the user experience, and the goals of our web app. First, what problem will our web app solve? Let's keep it simple for now. Focusing on a single, clear problem makes it easier to design and build a solution that works well. Imagine we want to create a contact form. People can fill it out with their name, email address, and message, and it will send the information directly to our email inbox. This is a common feature on many websites, and it's a great starting point for learning how web apps work. By starting with a basic idea, we can focus on understanding the process without getting overwhelmed by too many details. As we gain experience, we can always add more features later. Next, let's think about the steps involved. Breaking the project down into smaller tasks makes it easier to manage and helps us see what needs to be done first. We'll need a form with fields for the user's name, email, and message. Each field should be clearly labeled so users know what information to enter. Then we'll use PHP to capture that information when the user clicks the submit button. PHP will process the data and make sure it's ready to be sent. Finally, PHP will send this information to our email address. This way we can receive messages from users directly in our inbox, making it easy to stay in touch. Planning helps us organize our thoughts and anticipate challenges. It also allows us to spot potential problems before they happen, saving us time and frustration. It might seem simple for a small project, but as you build more complex applications, planning becomes crucial for success. The skills you develop now will help you tackle bigger projects with confidence in the future. Now let's set up our PHP development environment. This is the foundation for all the fun and learning ahead, so let's make sure we get it right from the start. Don't worry, it's easier than it sounds. Even if you're brand new to coding, you'll be surprised at how quickly you can get everything up and running. Think of it as preparing your workspace before starting a fun project. Just like you'd clear your desk and gather your tools before building something, we'll do the same for coding. We need a few things: a web server to host our files, PHP to process our code, and a database system to store information. These are the essential building blocks for any PHP project. The good news is that we can get all of these for free with a package called XAMPP for Windows or MAMP for macOS. These tools are designed to make your life easier by bundling everything together. These packages bundle everything we need and make setting up our environment a breeze. You don't have to worry about installing each component separately or dealing with complicated configurations. Once you've installed XAMPP or MAMP, you can start the servers with just a click. This will launch both the web server and the database system so you're ready to go in seconds. Now you have a local web server running on your computer, ready to execute your PHP code. This means you can experiment and build projects without needing an internet connection or a remote server. To test it out, create a new file named index.php in the htdocs folder inside your XAMPP or MAMP installation directory. This is where your PHP files will live while you develop. Open this file in a text editor and type the following code: PHP. This simple script will help you confirm that everything is working as expected. Save the file, open your web browser, and go to localhost/index.php. This tells your computer to load the file you just created using your local server. You should see the words "Hello World" displayed on the page. If you do, congratulations. Your PHP environment is set up perfectly. Congratulations! You've just run your first PHP script. You're now ready to start building amazing things with PHP right from your own computer. Let's start building our contact form. We'll use HTML to create the form's structure and fields. Think of HTML as the skeleton of our web page, and PHP as the muscles that make it move. Open your index.php file and replace the existing code with the following: Gmail contact us your name. So we have our form, but it doesn't really do anything yet. Let's go ahead and create the process.php file and add some PHP code to handle the submitted data. First, create a new file named process.php in the same directory as index.php and add the following code. If the request method is post, meaning, the form was actually submitted, then we grab the name, email, and message fields from the $_post superglobal. Usually you'd want to validate this data, but for now, let's just display whatever was submitted. So we echo out the name, email, and message with line breaks in between. If the request method isn't post, we just echo invalid request method. This code checks if the form was submitted and then retrieves the data from the user input. Later on, we'll swap out those echo statements for code that actually sends an email. Databases are essential for storing and managing large amounts of information in web applications. Think of a database as a well-organized library of data, and PHP as the librarian that helps you find what you need. MySQL is a popular database system that works well with PHP. Remember the XAMPP or MAMP package we installed earlier? It actually includes MySQL. So, let's say we want to store our contact form submissions in a database. We need to create a database and a table to hold the data. Here's the SQL code you'd use. First, create the database with createDatabaseContact_DB. Next, use the database with useContact_DB. Then create the table with createTableContacts, ID int auto _increment primary key, name varchar 255, not null, email varchar 255, not null, message text not null. This SQL code creates a database named contact_DB and a table named contacts with columns for the contact's ID, name, email, and message. Now that we have data in our database, let's display it dynamically on a web page using PHP. Go ahead and create a new file named view_contacts.php and add the following code: php connect_error. Die, connection failed, $con, connect_error, / fetch data from the database, $sql =, select asterisk from contacts, $result = $con, query, $sql, / display the data in a table if $result num_rows 0, echo ID name email message, while $row = $result, fetch _ASIC, echo a $row ID, $row name, $row email, $row message, echo else, echo no contacts found, / close the database connection $con, close. This code connects to the database, retrieves all contacts from the contacts table, and displays them in an HTML table. Just remember to replace username and password with your actual MySQL credentials. As our code grows, it's important to keep it clean, organized, and easy to understand. Imagine trying to read a book with jumbled sentences and paragraphs. It would be really difficult. Here are some tips for writing clean and maintainable PHP code. First, use meaningful variable and function names. Instead of using generic names like $X or $Y, use descriptive names like $username or $product_price. Next, indent your code because proper indentation makes your code visually appealing and easier to follow. Also, add comments. Comments are like notes to yourself or other developers explaining what the code does. And finally, break down large tasks into smaller functions, which improves code reusability and readability. Remember, writing clean code is not just about aesthetics, it's about making your code easier to debug, maintain, and collaborate on with others. Congratulations, you've built your first web application with PHP. You've learned how to handle user input, interact with a database, and display data dynamically. You've also understood the importance of writing clean and maintainable code. But this is just the beginning. PHP opens up a world of possibilities for building amazing web applications. You can explore frameworks like Laravel and Symfony, which provide pre-built components and functionalities, making web development faster and more efficient. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and never be afraid to try new things. The world of web development is vast and ever-evolving, and with PHP as your companion, you're well equipped to embark on this exciting journey. Happy coding!